Hello, magnificent human beings. My name's Landon with Yoga New Mexico, where we focus on empowerment, alignment, and strength. You are in the right place, capable and strong. We are going to do dancer's pose today. Yes, dancer's pose, also called standing bow, also called standing bow pulling. There's a few names for this posture. I think the most widely used is, well, dancer's pose. So if you would like some tips, tricks on how to come deeper, how to find more balance, all those things in this posture, this is the class for you. Please go ahead, roll out your mat, and I will roll the intro screen. Thank you so much for being here. This is a class all about dancer's pose. So I think we need to look very first at the grip in the posture. In teaching this pose, I find that this is often the first place where lots of people go wrong, is that they are not grabbing on the right part of their foot or not grabbing on, turning their arm right. So let's just go ahead and take a brief look. So not even standing up. Let's just get a good idea here. So when you are standing and you're up in your dancer's pose, most people just go ahead and reach down and grab, this back part of their foot right here, and their arm is outward. So if we're looking at it from this way, then they're just grabbing right here. But here is the big secret, is that you need to externally rotate, turn your arm around and grab on the inside of that foot. So you really want that bicep pointed outward. And people will grab still on the inside of their foot, but then they'll twist it all the way back, so they're hunching their shoulder forward. So if you envision the shoulder rolling back, then your arm is going to have to roll back as well, because we want an opening through that shoulder, through our kind of pec minor area here, when you're kicking into that hand. So standing up here in the base of your dancer pose, arm comes outward and you grab on the inside of that foot. Now, where exactly you grab is very dependent on your flexibility level. So at first, you're going to grab just on the inside of your foot here. And whether all of your hands, like all of your fingers, are together here on your hand, including your thumb, or if you have your thumb on top of your foot, it doesn't really matter, to be honest. Wherever you feel most comfortable grabbing is going to be the best for you. So notice, bicep pointed out. It's not hunching forward, it's rolling back and grabbing on the inside of my foot. So that's the first thing, is the grasp. And if you cannot actually grab your foot and you still need some help, a washcloth is an excellent tool for this. But here's the same thing, is don't let bad habits creep in, because you might be grabbing the washcloth and notice how my shoulder is forward a little bit, my tricep is pointed out. So wherever you are grabbing with the washcloth, around your foot, around your ankle, or wherever it may be, don't grab on the outside. Rather, you want to turn your hand so that it's pointed outward. Bicep pointed out. And then you can begin to kick back. So even if you're using a prop, don't allow that, unnatural grasp to happen. Still keep your bicep pointed out, still turn that arm outward. So whether you're using a prop or not, it's really good to think about the opening in your shoulder. And how I've always typically cued this in a class is that you really just start opening your shoulder. So you bring that shoulder all the way back, kind of getting some mobility in it, kind of mentally preparing it, so to speak, for the kick that eventually is going to happen. and then you just pause, down in here at that side. Bring it on in, grabbing on the inside of that foot. And before you start to come down, this pose is a lot about the kick. So keeping your torso nice and tall, first start kicking into that back hand. So you're staying here, torso nice and tall, and then keep your torso tall. Don't hinge forward yet, just start kicking into the back of that hand. Kick, 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 kick. Because it's really good to take things one step at a time. And I think a lot of the time we try to do things two things at once, where we're kicking and we're hinging and we're coming down like this. And that really starts to invite bad habits into your balance. And if you focus on just doing one thing at a time, then I think you'll have better balance in this posture. So standing in the base here, left hand up, your right arm's grabbing back, and you keep your torso tall, kick, 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 kick. And then once your torso, or once your kick is more or less maxed out, then you start hinging at your hips and bringing that torso down and forward. And that's going to, I think, help with your balance rather than trying to do all these things at once. Now, another thing about this pose is how your hip should be. It's way too easy to, as you come down, start to twist and then flare this hip open. It's like you kind of come down into some awkward half moon version or something. Now, I will say that it is really, really, really hard to keep your hips square in this pose as you're kicking, 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 and then you're hinging forward. This hip, the one that you're kicking with, that whole leg is naturally going to come back some. So this is the best tip I can give you, is that it's going to come back regardless of your ability, flexibility level, and everything by just a little bit. So just have some awareness. That's the biggest thing I can say, is have some awareness in that area. Don't start to twist and really let, that hip come open as you go down, because you still want to think about keeping your hips here in one plane and not tilting and doing some crazy twist in your dancer's pose. So that's the best thing I could say, is just try to have some awareness in your hips as you come down. Awesome job, everyone. Thank you all so much for being here. If you have questions, comments, concerns, any of those things, please put them in the comments below. I'd love to have a conversation. Remember, you are in the right place. Capable, strong, magnificent human beings, all of you, from my heart to yours. Namaste.